Hey guys, welcome back. This is ChosenArchitect, and today I'm going to be showing you how to set up a very simple mob farm with Xnet. Hopefully you guys are ready. Alright guys, so a little bit has happened in between episodes. So I did spend some time in the Nether. I did end up getting quite a few things, and we're going to go over what I did there. I did get myself a drop of evil. Now, I went through an entire episode and my mic was unplugged and I didn't know it. I guess my daughter grabbed a hold of the mic and accidentally pulled it out, and I didn't check it before I started recording. So yeah, I lost 30 minutes of footage, but it's okay. I went ahead and just broke everything, and I'm going to set everything back up so you guys can see this, because this is actually a really nice setup using Xnet, and I really wanted you guys to see this. So let's go ahead and get started with it. This may be a little bit of a shorter episode because since I've done everything, I can kind of compact everything down and make everything a lot faster, but let's go ahead and get this done. So, I went ahead and already placed the mob drop, or placed the drop of evil. So you get that from getting a wither. And then I also had these vector plates, and I placed them around this edge because the block I'm going to use to kill mobs actually has a 5x5 radius. It's a really good block for doing so. I also have the drum setting here, and I have a storage crate. As you can see, it had already been running for a little bit. Really, this is not very much time at all, but this is some of the stuff that it had already acquired. But we're going to talk about this. So, you're also going to need... let me go ahead and actually break this underneath here, because this is actually a facade. It's not actually a regular block, as you can see there. Bam. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab all this stuff. So, when setting up the... setting up your mob room... one of the cool things is you can use a mob grinder from, where's it at? Where's our mob grinder? Right here. Our mob crusher from Industrial Foregoing. And this guy does a very good job of it. It does require some energy, and it does produce fluid essence and also items. And you can see the range right here. So as you can see, it is a 5x5 range by default, and pretty nice. So, what we're going to need today is we're going to need a petrified fuel generator. I just actually used the one that I had setting over here, and it actually works just fine. We're going to need a controller from Xnet. We're going to need some facades, a trash can, a screen controller. I'll show you what this does later. A screen from RF Tools. We're going to need connectors from Xnet and network cables from Xnet. We're also going to need some coal, and we're also going to need a smart wrench for later on. This is part of Xnet as well. All of these things are fairly easy to make, and they don't really require that much. So like the screen controller is just a simple RF Tools machine. The screen is actually fairly simple. The machine base is fairly simple. The controller is pretty cheap as well. All of these things are fairly cheap, and it's actually a really nice system. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place a controller right here. Actually, right here is where the controller is going to go. I'm actually going to need some of that wood. So go ahead and place that here. Yeah, right here is going to be the best place for that. So let's go ahead and do so. So right here is where the controller is going to go for Xnet, our Xnet controller. Lovely. And next to that, we're going to put the petrified fuel generator. The reason I want to put it next to the machine is because this machine is actually going to power this machine. This will not run unless you, this will not run correctly. Let me actually go ahead and delete these channels as well. Remove, remove, remove. So it's a blank slate. But yeah, this guy is completely new now, but it does require power to actually work. But we can also use this to also power all our other machines. So let's go ahead and give this some coal, and it's going to start generating some power, as you can see there. We do leave this open here because we're going to be putting a screen and everything up there here soon. But for right now, this is going to work just fine. Okay. Right here, we're actually going to leave this open because we're going to put the screen controller there. And this guy is just going to be something that we can access later on, and we're going to give it power here in a minute. But for right now, it is perfectly fine, not causing any issues, looking good. Okay, so next step. We need all these connectors, and the connectors are made with a chest and all of that good stuff. Some lapis, redstone, and gold. So all of these are going to need this underneath it, including the controller. So the controller is going to need one under there. So let's go ahead and throw this cable underneath this machine and this machine. This machine's going to need one. The iron drum here is going to need one, and so is the inventory is going to need one. And that's for right now. And we're also going to need to put one onto this machine here. So what I can do is I can break this block, and I can run one right there. And then we can hook our network cable up to it, and everything should hook together once we hook the network cable up. Just like that. Perfect. Now, we're going to want to cover this up. We don't want everything looking ugly, so with our facades, you can just click on what you want it to look like, and then you can cover things up. But on the connectors, on the connectors, you have to shift-click to use the facades. On these, you can just hover right over them, and it's no big deal. Same with this. I don't really need to do that, but I'm going to. And then we're going to take this, and we're just going to cover everything up. Because honestly, this is the pretty much the full setup. Oh, we're actually missing one thing. Right here. We'll actually go ahead and break this. In this spot, we're actually going to put a connector for a trash can. That's what our other connector's for. So I'll put it right here, and we're going to hook a trash can right here. And I'll show you why we need that later. Alright, let's go ahead and break this, and we'll facade it just like everything else. Nice. Perfect. So everything's looking very well. Everything's looking pretty good. We have a nice system already started. We do have some mobs already spawning. That's because there is a light block in here. But I put lamps up here, and we're going to hook this up to redstone here shortly. And this amount of lamps actually works fairly nice. So having this box all connected into our building, I'm actually planning on using this ring around the outside to hide a lot of stuff. I think these doors are going to be closed, and this is going to be like a full-size circular building. And everything on the inside is actually going to be hidden. And like this inner ring is what I'm going to use to hide stuff. So it should all work out fairly nice. I'm actually liking this so far. But let's get back into this. I'm kind of getting distracted. All right. So let's start connecting things with our controller. That's kind of the brains of this whole system. And we need to set all this up. So all our machines are here. Let's set up and create different channels. So we're going to need an energy channel. We're going to need a item channel. And we're also going to need a, not storage. I've actually not seen what the storage does. We're going to need a fluid channel. All of these channels, just 3. Fairly simple. So what we're going to need is to find the energy producing machine, which is in this case the petrified fuel generator. And we're going to create a channel for that, and we're going to set it to extract power from there. Simple as clicking that button. Next, we're going to want to power the controller, and we can also set this up. It's going to receive power anyway, so you could leave this blank, but I'm going to make sure it's set to insert just in case. And then we're also going to need to power the screen controller, and we're also going to need to power the mob crusher, and that's it. That's all it needs power. You could skip this step and not power up the controller, but that's up to you guys. Alright, next let's get into items. It's going to be a little bit different. So the mob crusher is going to produce items. So we want to work with that machine. You can double click, and it's actually, as you can see, it highlights the item that it's talking about. And it'll actually show up through blocks. So if you double click this, and you come over here, you can see which block it is. That's a pretty neat feature. I don't know about you guys, but I really like that. So if you're confused about what is what, that really helps out. So let's go under the item section. We're going to create this, and we're going to set it to extract items from here. And it's going to insert into our storage crate. So if the storage crate becomes too full, we need somewhere for the items to go. Otherwise, they're just going to spill into the floor. I'm pretty sure this machine will spill items into the floor. And we definitely don't want that happening on a server. So to control that, I'm going to set this to priority 2. So the higher priority, with the higher the priority number, which is going to correspond to which inventory it's going to input into first. So the higher the number is going to be which inventory is first. So whereas the crate, I want it to go in first, and then I want the trash can, let's create that and set its insert, I want that to go in second. So it'll be 1. It's going to be less than the priority of the crate. And everything should be good. Now we can start blacklisting items. So if we blacklist an item from the storage crate, it's going to automatically go into the trash can. So keep that in mind. It's a pretty easy thing to do. All right, so let's go ahead and also set up our fluids. So let's get into our fluids channel, and let's go ahead and see this right here. So the mob crusher is also going to create some essence. Let's set that to extract and go into our fluid, into our iron drum. And that's pretty much it. This is it. That's all you have to do. Everything is already ready to go and fully set up. Now, let me go ahead and break this redstone here. I'm pretty sure that that lamp is right there. Let's go ahead and break it. We don't really need it right now. And then I'm going to cover the hole back up and place our redstone back down. All right, so mobs are going to start spawning in here. There is a block right here. Let's actually go ahead and close that up. I think I have one. Yeah, right there. I have another blocking. Just close this hole because we don't need a hole there. And if you're wondering what kind of glass this is dark glass from Extra Utilities. It's fairly easy to make, so you can look up the recipe for that if you want to. If you have Extra Utilities installed, you can find that there. It's fairly easy to make. Just requires some black dye, some glass, and sand. Nothing too special about that. All right, so let's get into what this screen can do. This screen can do a little bit for us. So as you can see right now, we need to have it powered with something, and that's why you need the screen controller. If I hit scan, what it's going to do, it's going to connect to this and give this screen power. So this screen actually does require power, and we can set some modules inside. You can also change a few things about it with the wrench. You can make it large, and you can make it invisible. Simple as that. A few things you can do with that. Okay, so let's get our redstone receiver and transmitter. Now these are two other blocks that are wireless redstone. And I want to set up a receiver. The transmitter is what sends, I think it's right. This logic block accepts redstone signals and sends it wirelessly to the receiver. Yeah, so the receiver is what sends the energy, or sends the redstone. So I want to set this here. So right now this is powered on. And it's actually connected to this. It's connected to the channel 4. But we don't have to use this thing if we don't want to. We can actually hook it up to the screen, which is pretty cool. All you need is to look in the modules, and there should be a button module right here. And the button module, it says right here, it says sneak right click on a redstone receiver to create a channel for this module. So that's exactly what we're going to do. Let's go ahead and make one of those. Did it make it? What am I missing? Oh, I'm missing a button. How crazy is that? So let's go back to the button module. Bam. Awesome. So we have a button module. Simple as that. So let's go ahead and place this, or actually we need to shift right click on a receiver. So now this is copied to module 4. And we can throw this in here. I'm actually going to leave a line because right now this button needs to be configured. So this is going to turn on the lights. And we're going to set it to toggle mode, and we're going to center this, and the button text can be on or off. I really don't know what to label this. I set for toggle. I think that's probably the best thing to label it. And I think we can make this bigger. Can we make it bigger? I don't think you can. You can change the I think true type is the best. So we have lights and toggle. I don't think there's any bold mode. No. So I'll leave it to right actually. I think no. Let's not do that. Let's do center. Yeah, center actually works the best. And that actually looks pretty decent there. Okay, so this is set up this way. And now what we can do is we can actually click this button. As you can see, it toggles the lights on and off. Because it's actually connected to this redstone signal. How neat is that? You can actually have physical buttons, and you can put multiple redstone channels up here like this. And you can control different things. So this is the light button, and it's just like a light switch. But I do want to set this up so it says something a little bit different, like make sure to turn the lights off or turn the lights on when you're done using it. stuff of that nature. And you can do that with these text modules. So let's get in here and add a text module. And we can set this to turn lights on and center it. Let's actually turn the text into not large. Turn lights on. Let's try changing it to, I don't know, something else. Just something to do with lights, I guess. Toggle. Toggle mob farm. Just like that. I think that looks pretty good. We can change the color to blue. I think that looks alright. Turn off. Or set it not to turn off. I want it set to something else. I want it just to say toggle mob farm. Right? Yeah, there we go. And it says to set this to bright. Toggle full brightness. Don't really know what that means. But like I said, we can change this so that way it is clear. And it'll still work. As you can see. It still does work. It's actually kind of cool looking. But we can also have it kind of large. And we can actually replace this in different spots. We can put this right here and it would work just the same. Let's see. Can we do that? Let's actually move this thing. It's going to retain its modules. There we go. Nothing's displaying. There we go. Now it's connected, and now I can toggle. Now everything's nice and big. I mean, I don't really like it that big, but you know, that's up to you guys. Whatever you guys want to do. I'm gonna move it though. I don't want it right there. I want it right here. I think like the medium-sized one is actually pretty nice. There we go. And then of course, let's rotate that back. Let's scan. And there we go. Now we can see it a lot better. I actually like this a lot better. There we go. Toggle. Perfect. Okay, so we have the screen set up. We have all this good stuff working for us. I think it's looking kind of nice. This is a pretty decent setup. I think I'm going to set this right here. I keep trying to figure out which way I want to place it, and it actually places just fine behind the wall. Bam. I can place that there and that there. So yeah, this is actually working, and as you can see, it is getting items here. What I can do is take like bows and stuff like that, and go into the controller like I was mentioning before. If there's things I'm not wanting in here, I can go into this channel, set blacklist mode enabled, and it's going to blacklist any type of bow. So no longer will bows be showing up in here. Let's toggle this off, so we get mob spawning. And of course our essence is also flowing into here as well. And it should be able to keep up with the power. It doesn't really require that much power to get this going. It does a really good job. But yeah, let's go ahead and throw the bows in there. We shouldn't see any more bows showing up in this inventory. If we wanted to get rid of cobwebs or arrows, usually arrows cause a lot of problems. I see we're getting a lot of ancient bricks. I'm actually really liking that because these make some really cool looking bricks. Look at this. I mean, you can do all kinds of stuff. But these are actually pretty nice looking. And then you can make them into tile versions. We might actually try something with that since we've got a mob farm going. But yeah, I don't know. This is looking pretty neat. And it is a very compact, very compact system with only using a Xnet controller. No other cables and everything's hidden. It just looks like it's just sitting here, not hooked to anything. So, I hope you guys are liking this. If you do, please remember to click that subscribe button. If you haven't already, and also give this video a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. And as always, thanks for watching.